Ghislaine Maxwell, a former girlfriend and longtime associate of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested this morning in New Hampshire. Maxwell is facing 6 federal charges, including conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity and perjury. Some of Epstein's accusers have said Maxwell recruited them as young girls to have sex with Epstein and his powerful friends. Bryan Llenas has more in New York City on that story for us this morning. Hey, Bryan.
Hey, Sandra. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime associate, former girlfriend, and alleged madam, was arrested at 8:30 this morning in Bradford, New Hampshire. That's a town, fewer than 2,000 people live in that small town, just 5 hours north of New York City. The arrest comes just 4 days before the one-year anniversary marking Jeffrey Epstein's arrest last year in July. We are told Maxwell will be held at the MCC, the same Manhattan federal jail where Epstein was held and was found dead in an apparent suicide. She will be prosecuted by the Southern District of New York, the same jurisdiction that brought charges against Jeffrey Epstein. And according to the federal indictment, Maxwell faces 6 federal charges, including 4 counts of conspiracy, enticement, and transport of minors to engage in illegal sex acts. Prosecutors allege that between 1994 and 1997, Maxwell helped to, quote, recruit, groom, and coerce underage and young women to have sex with Epstein. The victims were as young as 14. Prosecutors say Maxwell enticed these girls and young women to Epstein's residences around the world. In some instances, she would even participate in the sexual abuse with Epstein. They also charged her with 2 counts of perjury, lying under oath twice in 2016. They allege that she recruited minors for Epstein methodically, building a rapport with these girls, taking them out to movies and shopping, asking about their families and their school life. After building that rapport, she would try to normalize sexual abuse by undressing in front of the victims or being present for sex acts between Epstein and these minors. She encouraged them to give Epstein sexual massages. Now, the abuse took place in Epstein's New York mansion. According to prosecutors, his estate in Palm Beach, Florida, his ranch in New Mexico, and her personal home in London. The charges against Maxwell are based on the accusations from 3 unnamed victims, one that was 14 at the time, the other 2 that were under the age of 18. Now, in April of 2016, Maxwell gave a deposition in which she told federal prosecutors, quote, "I don't know what you're talking about," when asked about sexual abuse involving Jeffrey Epstein. And again in July of that year, she was interviewed by prosecutors in which she said she was unaware of Epstein having sex with anyone in the home while she was there. And on news of Maxwell's arrest, in a statement from one of the attorneys representing many of the Epstein victims, David Boies, telling Fox News, quote, "This is a great day for justice. Now, thanks to the dedicated work of the prosecutors in the Southern District of New York, Maxwell faces the criminal reckoning she deserves." Bottom line is the whereabouts of Maxwell have been under speculation for about a year now. She is the daughter of a British socialite and tycoon. She is wealthy. There was thought that she was outside of this country, never to be found again. But in the end, arrested this morning in a small town in New Hampshire, just under 5 hours north of New York City. Sandra.
A press conference where those charges will be formally announced happening at noon Eastern time today. Bryan Llenas on that story. Bryan, thank you.